Assalamu alaikum friends, it's here Dr. Fatma. Today we are going to study sideroblastic anemia in a much better and easy way with the help of mnemonics. Without further ado, let's get started. So first we will see what we can understand from the name. As the name indicates, sidero iron blast immature cells and anemia, decrease in RBC, decrease in the hemoglobin concentration and decrease oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So, sideroblastic anemia is a group of blood disorders characterized by impaired ability of the bone marrow to produce normal red blood cell. In this condition, the iron inside the red blood cell is inadequately used to make hemoglobin despite normal amounts of iron. Ring sideroblastic anemia is the form of anemia in which the bone marrow produces the ring sideroblast rather than the healthy RBCs. The body has the iron available but cannot incorporate it into the hemoglobin which the red blood cell need to transport oxygen efficiently. The cells appear atypical. There is abnormal nucleated erythroblast with the granules of iron accumulated in the perinuclear mitochondria, seen in the aspirate of the bone marrow. Ring sideroblasts are the cells that arrange the iron granules in a ring form around the nucleus. Here you can see the iron is arranged in a ring form around the nucleus. The erythroblast is surrounded by the iron granules accumulated in the mitochondria. To study the mechanism, we will see the structure of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is formed from the heme and the globin. The globin from the alpha and the beta chains and the heme. The heme is formed from the iron and the protoporphyrin ring. In sideroblastic anemia, there is basically defect in the formation of the protoporphyrin ring, so it can't function properly. The specific feature of the sideroblastic anemia are dyserythropoiesis. Erythro means RBC, poiesis means formation, and dyserythropoiesis means defective development of the RBC. The body has inability to utilize the iron properly, so there will be increased iron but decreased normal heme. And one of the specific features, the ring sideroblast, that the iron laden mitochondria form a ring around the nucleus. Okay dear friends, now we will see the causes of the sideroblastic anemia. Sideroblastic anemia may be inherited or acquired. The inherited form is X-linked, mainly affect the boys, and there is mutation in the ALS gene. So when there is mutation in the ALS gene, there is defective formation of the delta ALS synthase, and as a result there will be increased iron but decreased normal. The next form is acquired. Acquired may be primary or secondary. The primary is a type of myelodysplastic syndrome. What is myelodysplastic syndrome? Myelodysplastic syndromes are a group of cancers in which the immature blood cells in the bone marrow do not mature, so do not become healthy blood cells. In the acquired case, we see the primary, which is a type of myelodysplastic syndrome. Now we will see the secondary. Oh my god, it has so many causes. How we will memorize them? So simple, like ARC-MED in the sideroblastic anemia. Just as we say there are ring sideroblast, from the ring ARC. Memorize ARC from the ring, and like ARC-MED in the sideroblastic anemia. From the like lead toxicity, one of the cause of the secondary acquired sideroblastic anemia is lead toxicity. The next is ARC. From the ARC anemia, which may be hemolytic or megaloblastic anemia, then alcohol, and from the R, rheumatoid arthritis, and from the C, carcinoma. MED, myeloid leukemia, myeloproliferative disorder, malabsorption, and megaloblastic. So, the myeloproliferative disorders are a group of slow-growing blood cancer in which the bone marrow make too many abnormal blood cells, white blood cells or platelets which accumulate in the blood. And the next from the M, you should know myeloid leukemia, a type of a cancer in which the bone marrow makes abnormal myeloblast, RBCs or platelets. And finally the D, drugs, isoniazid and phenytoin. So we memorize it from the like arc med, like lead toxicity, arc anemia, which may be hemolytic, megaloblastic, A for alcohol, R for rheumatoid arthritis, C for carcinoma, and MED. Megaloblastic, malabsorption, myeloproliferative disorder, myeloid leukemia, and the drugs like isoniazid and phenytoin. We studied the causes of sideroblastic anemia, which may be inherited or acquired. Inherited is X-linked and mainly affect the boys, and the acquired is primary and secondary, and the mnemonic to memorize the secondary is like arc med. Friends, finally, we are going to see the diagnosis. I am going to diagnose sideroblastic anemia on the basis of clinical judgment, the clinical picture of the patient and the lab findings. From the clinical judgment, I will see there will be enlarged liver, enlarged spleen, heart disease. The patient will complain of fatigue, kidney damage, diarrhea complaints, and the other symptoms of anemia like palpitation, like difficulty in breathing, like change in the stool color, and the other conditions we studied in the previous. And what are the lab findings? When the patient will come to you and you will do the blood tests, you will do the CBC, peripheral blood smear, iron studies, and sometimes the bone marrow. Okay friends, a patient come to you, you did the lab test. What you will find in them? Let's see. The first one is the CBC, the complete blood count or the complete blood picture. Oh my god, you are going to see a dimorphic picture. Dimorphic picture means what? In the congenital, you will see that MCV is normal or decreased, and in the acquired form, you will see that MCV is normal or increased. So you will find a dimorphic picture in the CBC in the sideroblastic anemia. The next you are going to do is peripheral blood smear. In the peripheral blood smear, you see the two things, the basophilic stippling and the Pappenheimer bodies. So what is this basophilic stippling? Basophilic stippling indicates impaired hemoglobin synthesis, probably due to the instability of the iron RNA in the young cells. Instability of RNA in the young cells is the cause of basophilic stippling, and the next is Pappenheimer bodies are abnormal granules of iron. Pappenheimer bodies are abnormal granules of iron found inside the RBC on the routine blood stain. They are a type of inclusion body formed by phagosome that have engulfed excessive amount of iron. Bone marrow studies will show erythroid hyperplasia, sign of ineffective erythropoiesis. Iron stain, operation stain shows the generalized increase in the iron store and the presence of the ring sideroblast. And the iron studies, you will find that there will be increased serum iron, increased serum ferritin, and decreased total iron binding capacity. Friends, we diagnosed from the clinical judgment and the lab findings that the patient come to the OPD is of sideroblastic anemia. How are you going to manage him? First of all, remove the toxin, any toxin that is causing the condition. Then next you have to do is therapeutic phlebotomy. What is phlebotomy? The surgical opening or puncture of a vein in order to withdraw the blood to introduce a fluid. Okay, we will puncture the vein and introduce a fluid, and the other is bloodletting. And the medications you are giving to him is defroxamine. What defroxamine do? It binds to the iron and the aluminium, and it is specifically used in the iron overdose hemochromatosis, either due to multiple blood transfusion or an underlying genetic condition. So you will give to the patient defroxamine and also administer pyridoxine, thiamine and folic acid. What we study in today's lecture, we study the sideroblastic anemia, immature RBCs, iron accumulated in them, and decreased capacity of them to carry oxygen. The main features are dyserythropoiesis, inability to utilize iron, ring sideroblast, Pappenheimer boris, basophilic stippling. The causes are inherited and acquired. In the inherited, it is X-linked and mainly affect the boys. Mutation in the ALS gene. In the acquired form, primary is a type of myelodysplastic syndrome and the secondary is a type of like arc MAD. We diagnose from the clinical judgment and the lab findings, and then we treat the patient.